I'm Lita Leapins.
And I'm Jim Gordon.
And welcome to another edition of Our City Tonight.
Here at a place we film at quite often throughout the year, Hydra Restaurant in the Exchange Hotel. Glad you were joining us.
Right here in the Cabana Room.
That's right. Lots to get through in this next episode, so we'll get right to the show.
This segment is sponsored by the Richmond Sentinel, providing news, entertainment, and human interest stories in print and online.
One thing you should know is the art of letting go. Pose for the flick, yeah, we got it like that. Show off the trip like we got it like that. Know what it is, we just pop it like
Well, you're looking at a video for a song that I've been humming for the last 3 or 4 days. The person responsible is our next guest. This is quite a story for this singer-songwriter, originally from Indonesia. Kamasean, I got that name right, please?
Yeah,
yes.
Kamasean, you said it right.
Kamasean Matthews, last name.
I know.
Joining us here, originally from Jakarta, living in Vancouver. Now, welcome.
Thank you.
As I said off the top, what an interesting story. There are, I believe, 274 million people in Indonesia.
Yeah, as of now.
Yeah, you're a young teenager. You go on Indonesian Idol. You tell the rest of the story.
Yeah, I was 16, didn't really have any expectations. I actually, my mom and dad was like, hey, you know what, just do it. Like, you have nothing to lose. And I did have nothing to lose at that time. So I was like, why not? And so I won second place. It was just like that. But I did get eliminated though.
Okay, but second place though.
Yeah, so the judges used their veto on me, so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, then we were saying before we came on camera, let's talk about the people in this part of the world that have finished runners-up or have not won. Adam Lambert, thank you very much. Jennifer Hudson, list goes on. So you go as a teenager, all of a sudden you're a superstar in a country with that many people. How was that to deal with?
It was a lot. And to be honest, up until today, it's still a lot for me to take in, which is weird because like people are like, but you're like a grown up now, and it's been over a decade since that competition. But every time I'm back in Jakarta, back to the whole routine, it still feels surreal. It's like I don't feel like the world sees me the way I see myself, you know, which is cool and crazy at the same time. They look at you as, you know, like you're so special and you're so wonderful, and these are great things. And I feel very blessed, and it's a great privilege to have that kind of platform because I can do a lot of things, like a lot of good things for people, but at the same time, I can never go back to my old life where, you know, I could just like go anywhere, like go to the grocery store, pick up some things and not have people questioning, oh, what's in the basket? Like, what'd she get?
Yeah, I mean, all modesty aside, if we're sitting in Jakarta right now or another city in Indonesia, we're not having this conversation without people coming over to the table, and that would bruise my ego because they're not coming over to see me. But yeah, you are multi-layered. I mean, you're living here in Vancouver. You have a law degree.
Yeah.
You can be practicing law in Indonesia, but you're here, and that's how you came to us through one of our producer, Neil, and his lawyer, who was in Jakarta, and all of a sudden you're talking about whether you want to practice here.
Yes.
We should also say that you teach music here, which is lovely.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been great. And honestly, the whole practicing law, like the reason why I got in law school was because, so my first degree was actually in audio engineering.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
audio
All right.
engineering. And I thought it's very useful for me in the industry. You know, being an artist and musician, it's really important for you to not just understand the like performance aspect, but also understanding like the whole production thing. Like at least for me, like personally, I think it's important. And then after I finished that, I was like, you know what? I want to go back to school. Like I want to go back to school and learn something that feels more academic
and stable. That's,
and stable.
that's
like,
right.
It feels like something, you know, like I didn't really feel like I went to school because it was way too much fun.
Yeah.
So, and because my brother at that time, I think he almost finished his law school at that time. So I was like, you know what, let's try giving law a chance.
Yeah.
And so I did. And I think it was also because, you know, at that time I was thinking that, hey, I don't think there's enough representation for artists
Cool, combine two worlds there for you. huh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like how I like to live. You know, the things that I do in life, I like to be passionate about. It's really hard to be passionate about things that you have no interest in or you feel like it's not beneficial to you.
Right.
You know, so the things that I do in life, I always make sure that it's something that I enjoy, I love, I'm passionate about, and also is beneficial to me, you know. So
Yeah, and you've got two careers where I've always said to become a lawyer, the direction is pretty point A to B and E, whereas becoming a singer-songwriter to a superstar, that's uncharted. You can't count on that, so it's good you do all that. We should say too, though, while you're living in Vancouver, people want to see more of your music. You've got a YouTube channel. Where can people see your stuff? Because honestly, you have a lot of great stuff. You do have a great voice, and I love the fact that you also write a lot of your stuff, which is important. So where can people see more of your work?
You could check me out on Instagram. It's just Instagram.com. My handle is Kamasean, like my name, Kamasean. And you can also find me on YouTube. Just type in Kamasean, and you'll find all my stuff there. My Spotify as well. Just type in my name, Kamasean. See, everything's like so easy.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, listen, hey, it's been great having you here.
Thank
we
you.
do like to feature musicians, singer-songwriters from around the world that we've done for the last decade. So it's great to tap into somebody else who is a superstar in another part of the world. But we wish you luck and good luck here in Vancouver.
It's very kind of you.
Yeah, you're quite welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Like that, oh, yeah, we got it like that. Make you understand. But you got it like that.
This segment was sponsored by the Richmond Sentinel, providing news, entertainment, and human interest stories in print and online.
Hey, thanks for watching Our City Tonight. We just wanted to remind you to check out our fairly new website at www.ourcitytonighttv.com. You can check out all past episodes and a great gallery of pictures and check out what we're up to. Now back to the show.
This act of kindness segment is sponsored by the folks at the Creek House in the heart of Granville Island. They encourage you to open up your heart and reach out and help someone in need.
Well, as the intro said, it's another random act of kindness segment. Dave McCann joining us again, our kindness ambassador. We're here at a place we often film at when we're with Dave, Sandbar, a great restaurant, Dave, on Granville Island. We're on the third floor, great patio. It's open all year round, this place is. You've got a great subject to talk about today. Your subjects are always great, but this one is really, really good because what you told me figure-wise is astounding. We're talking about food waste and what you and a group of people are doing to combat that. You take it from there.
I've been working on this for over 25 years with a number of Granville Island tenants and others. And food for needy people is something that I'm concerned about. I mean, we're doing the Granville Island Cares for Kids to raise money for hungry school kids, but it's beyond that. There's tons of need in the community. A stunning number, 50 million tons of food. Roughly 60% of the food produced in this country winds up in the dump.
Let that sink in, yeah.
I mean,
wow.
50 million tons, 60% of the food production. And there are people that are now coming forward with creative ways to deal with that. And we're going to be talking about that during the show. And we're also going to be thanking them because they're the people that are leading the way and showing us that it doesn't have to happen.
Well, our first guest joining us on Dave's segment is the founder and president of Terra Breads. Very nice title, folks. Michael Lansky joins us. First time on the show.
Yes.
Dave, you take it from here, but because you're a big part of what we're going to talk about today.
Well, I'd like to start it off by, on behalf of the Vancouver community, thanking Michael for over 30 years of donating all his surplus product to help feed people in need. I think it's absolutely admirable. And it's a shining example that other food producers can use. So why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, we have a food donation program that we've been doing really daily, and it involves our people delivering. It involves organizations like Vancouver Food Runners who are well organized in picking up and getting the food to the people who need it. There are many hungry people, and it was that's the missing link between where the food is and where the need is. And then we have other people who come and pick up. And over the years, we've had people who come and they'll pick up bread or pastries or sandwiches, and they'll take it to a church in the kitchen and help prepare the food for people. To do it every day is really important, and it gets the food to the people who need it when they need it.
Yeah, and you've been doing it how long?
Over 30 years.
Wow. Anything you'd like to add?
Yes, over the last 4 years, through Vancouver Food Runners, we've made over 3,400 donations to over 60 charities in the Greater Vancouver area.
Okay, joining us now is the regional manager of Lee's Donuts. Oh, Lee's Donuts, folks. It's Carol Casebauer. Did I get that right?
You got it right.
Oh, she joins us now to continue the discussion that we started with Dave and Michael. Take it from here, David.
Well, again, you're someone I'd really like to thank. I've been working again with you for years,
A long time.
and I think it's wonderful that you donate all of your end-of-date product. And I've personally delivered it to some of the charities, and I've seen the smiles on their faces.
Yeah.
It
That's
makes a
amazing.
huge difference in people's lives.
I want to
And
thank you.
Now, tell us a bit about Lee's.
We just celebrated our 45th anniversary this year.
Wow.
And throughout the 45 years, we have been donating our end-of-day products to various charities. Dave's helped us along the way in the many years, and now we're partnering up with Food Runners, and they're helping us distribute our end-of-day product.
Can you give people an idea of how much is there at the end of the day?
It really varies every day.
Yeah.
I mean, some days it could be, quite a big amount. Occasionally we do sell out, but any end-of-day product we definitely want diverted to some people that could really use it.
Our last guest is with a company that you've heard our first two guests mention. It is Vancouver Food Runners, Michelle Reining? Reining. See, I'm close. I can say this part, though, Executive Director.
That is
of the
correct.
company.
Yes.
We've heard the company mentioned, as I said a few times. Tell us a bit about the company, and then Dave will want to ask you some questions as well.
Absolutely. So Vancouver Food Runners, we're a Canadian registered charity, and we're also a Metro Vancouver food recovery organization. We work with about 150 businesses across Metro Vancouver, and we use app technology and volunteer drivers to redirect the food from the businesses to about 145 nonprofits across the region.
Dave?
Well, I want to thank you for being introduced, because you're going to be taking over some of the work I've been doing. And I just got married, and I'll tell you, I want a little more time for that. So thank you very, very much on a very personal level. But for our community, you are making a huge difference, and thank you for doing that.
Absolutely, and I want to say thank you to all the volunteers that donate their time and give their time to distribute the food. This year, we're probably going to redirect 1.5 million pounds of food to these charities, and they're integrating the donations in a lot of different ways, whether it's community meals, food hampers, or just direct food provision to the community.
And how does the equation work out? Like we had Michael and Carol on earlier from their companies. Do they reach out to you, or is it just, how does that work?
Absolutely. So businesses can reach out, like Lee's Donuts and Terra Breads. They're absolute game changers in the industry. It's incredibly easy to get involved. Onboarding takes about 10 minutes, and then businesses can set up weekly donations, or they can do one-time donations. So it's an incredibly easy process. It's accessible and free.
Well, we've had everybody here. Dave, last thoughts before we wrap up.
I think it's just wonderful that the disconnect between where the food is and where the need is now being filled by groups like Food Runners. That's been the missing link for a long time. Hopefully there'll be other organizations that step up and fill the void.
It's a good goal to shoot for.
Yep.
Thanks again, David. Another random act of kindness segment here at Creek House, Dave's place, where he does all his working hour stuff. We're in Sandbar Restaurant. Come check this great place out here on Granville Island.
This Act of Kindness segment was sponsored by the folks at the Creek House in the heart of Granville Island. They encourage you to open up your heart and reach out and help someone in need.
Well, we hope you're enjoying the show. We just want to take a moment to remind you to check out the print version of our TV show.
That's right. We've got a number of print versions, including the Richmond Sentinel, one of our big partners, of course. And we're looking at, well, this was a nice cover of us, but we also have some recent guests on the cover of the Richmond Sentinel. You can check it out in print, of course. You can also check out all the editions online at their website. And you can also check out a lot of the stuff we do on this show on the Richmond Sentinel website.
And what is that website, Jim?
richmondsentinel.ca. Now back to the show.
Well, we're here in one of our favorite restaurants, right in the Cabana Lounge where we film. And I am joined by Chef Berlin. You have been on the show before, but you haven't talked to us on the show.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think Mark got you in the background at the Raw Bar one time, so you have been on TV before.
Okay.
But we're so thrilled to have you, and Chef Berlin is one of the executive chefs here at Hydra. You have brought out some of your absolute signature dishes that people come back for all the time. Now, just tell us a little bit about this beautiful spread.
So these guys have been the staple for like a long time now. And from what I understand, like we're sharing kind of, food, like people want to go out with family.
Yeah.
So they want like platters. So this is one of our platters, souvlaki platters.
Yes.
We have the chicken, steak, and the seafood, like whatever you want, you can have it.
Wow.
And before that, you could always start with like the spreads platters that we have. It's all in the bounty, we try to share like family style.
Yeah.
I really like that a lot.
It's very much like that here, and the food is not only bountiful, it's delicious. Now, this is something that changes. Tell us about this dish.
So our crudo dish, it's our chefs in the kitchen, they wanted to exercise their creative freedom. So our crudo is one of the channels that we use it on. So every week it might change depending on like maybe something is in season and we bring in the product or we get a sample, we'll try to implement that.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes, so it's kind of one of those things that makes the chefs happy a little bit in the back where it's like, we got to keep our signatures as consistent as possible.
You would have a riot from customers if they weren't able to get these two staples.
Yes.
And so what is this dish?
So this one, this week's crudo is we cure our own salmon. And at the bottom we have a fennel puree and garnished with candied figs. So garnished with like fennel salads as well.
Wonderful.
Comes with a side of pita chips, just so, like you got some crunch in there, all the texture and whatnot.
Really, really awesome. Well, we always love the food here. Thank you for finally coming on TV with us and
Thanks
joining
for
us.
having me.
Oh, our pleasure. And so all of this you can get at Hydra Restaurant. And now that the holidays are coming up, what a great way to share with your family. Thanks, Chef Berlin.
Thank you.
Sponsorship and other promotional considerations provided by Bosa Foods, authentic Italian, with 2 locations to serve you better. More information, go to bosafoods.com.
This segment is brought to you by the Chambers of Commerce Group Insurance Plan, Canada's #1 employee benefits plan, protecting Canadian firms for over 40 years.
Well, joining us for the first time on Our City Tonight, an old friend of mine I've worked with many times. He's here to talk about some interesting trends in the workforce. Ramon, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Jim.
We should tell you a little bit about you. You are a Chambers plan expert. You've served a number of roles with the plan since 2002 and currently the Regional Marketing Director for Chambers, Plan, BC, and Yukon. One of the things we wanted to talk to you about today, as I said, is just this trends in the workforce. But before we get to that, can you tell our viewers a little bit about Chambers Plan? I should say the full name is Chambers of Commerce Group Insurance Plan.
Yes, certainly. Chambers Plan is a comprehensive benefit program that's been around for over 40 years. and it was specifically designed to service the small to medium business market, which was very much an underserved market in terms of benefit plans back in the day. So they came forth and they put together this comprehensive program so small to medium-sized businesses were able to access and provide their employees with the same quality of benefits that one might expect from, large corporations.
Do you find that's a common thread when you're meeting with businesses that maybe are smaller that say, oh no, I couldn't possibly afford that for my 8 to 10 employees?
Yeah, certainly. It's still, even after all these years,
Yeah.
that's still a common thing that we do here, often in the marketplace. And that's why it's wonderful that we can look and tell them that we do have solutions for them, no matter what size. The Chambers plan will even go down and provide benefits to a one-person firm, even if it's a sole
Wow.
proprietor. Yeah.
Okay, which kind of leads us to what we're going to talk about today. I want to throw some stats out here. One of the things you mentioned to me was that a large majority of employees surveyed believe that a well-being is more important than salary. Now, we all want to make as much money as we can, but explain a little bit about that, the Equality Benefit Program, and what this can do for the employer and the employee.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it can be a benefit program is a great tool for both the retention and for recruitment of employees. There is, in some recent surveys, 69% of employees that were surveyed said that they did view their employer in a more positive light if that employer was providing them with benefits.
Right.
And in terms of the recruitment, over 50% of surveyed employees did say that one thing that they do specifically search for is details on a potential employer's benefit program before they submit an application or apply for a job. So it is really an important piece of that.
You've been part of this landscape, as I mentioned, for over 20 years. We were saying that, did COVID contribute to this? Maybe not, but what do you contribute or attribute, I should say, this trend, say, from when you started or even 10 years ago?
Yeah, well, certainly since COVID, there has been a labor shortage here in BC.
Right.
So employers really have to offer the right things in order to attract those employees. Employees really have a lot more choice, and they're in a position of power right now when it comes to applying for jobs. So again, having that benefit program can be really something that does attract them to the business or keep them around.
I'm kind of a uneducated guy when it comes to this. I have a small business with Lita, but what I found fascinating was when you broke it down for me the other day about talking to an employee and saying, here's what I can give you raise-wise next year, or you could go to another option in terms of your health care or benefits. Talk about that, because I found it amazing when you broke it down to me, how advantageous it is. You think right away you want to go for the increase in the pay, right? But it's give a little explanation about putting money towards a benefit plan versus a raise.
Yeah, certainly. Well, one would think that the majority of employees would automatically go for a raise, but in fact, again, the majority of employees surveyed, in fact, it was somewhere around north of 60%. Did say that they would prefer to have a comprehensive benefit program over a $5,000 a year annual raise. Companies may think initially, oh, well, this is going to cost a lot of money, but in fact, offering a benefit plan can be financially advantageous for both the employee and the employer.
Yeah, break that down again. That's fascinating.
So let's take the $5,000 raise, for example. If the employee receives a $5,000 annual raise, the employee on that, they will have to pay WCB, EI on that, and of course income tax.
Right.
So really that $5,000 might, depending on their tax bracket, only put between $3,000 to $3,500 in their pocket at the end of the day. And the employer, on the other hand, in addition to giving the raise, they also have to pay those payroll taxes, WCB premiums, EI premiums, CPP on top of that. So it's really, it costs the business more than $5,000, and the employee doesn't receive anywhere near that $5,000 in their pocket.
Correct.
Now, on the flip side of that, so by redirecting that $5,000 towards a benefit program for the employee, the employer is going to save on all those additional payroll taxes, and the employee, the vast majority of those premiums that the company is going to pay on their behalf are tax-free.
Right.
And in addition to that, the employee is going to be able to access literally thousands of dollars of tax-free benefit, chiropractic, physiotherapy, dental work, orthodontics, prescription drugs that is going to be provided through the plan for them and their family, which in many cases is far going to exceed the $3,000 to $3,500 they might actually net in terms of a raise.
And companies, I don't think long term, long game enough in business. And you take that approach, which you just described, it can also cut down on absenteeism. People being sick, again, things you don't think of long term.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The Canadian economy currently loses over $16 billion due to absenteeism in the workforce. So having a comprehensive benefit program, that's going to reduce the absenteeism within the workforce, and it's going to increase productivity. It'll keep people at work, reduce the absenteeism. If they do get sick, they're going to have access to the treatments and the medications and whatever they need in order to get better and get back to work and being more productive.
This is great stuff. And for people that want more information, it's chamberplan.ca.
Yes, correct. They can go to chamberplan.ca. There's some information about the benefits that are available. And they can also look in there and request a quote by just simply putting in their postal code. They'll be directed to one of the exclusive local experts in their area that will be able to take them through the...
And we should say too that don't think because you're a small business you can't afford this.
Absolutely correct. Like I said, the Chamber's plan was specifically designed for those small to medium-sized enterprises, right from 1 employee to 50 is our target market, but we certainly do have companies that exceed 50 employees as well. It can be a great fit for the larger firms, but the core market is that 1 to 50 employee market.
That's good stuff. We'll have Ramon Salinas back on our show in the new year with more great advice. We thank you for coming here today. Appreciate your advice.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jim.
Thank you.
This segment was brought to you by the Chambers of Commerce Group Insurance Plan. More than 30,000 small to mid-sized businesses choose the Chambers Plan to protect their employees.
Well, thanks for watching the show. We hope you're enjoying it. We just want to remind you to check out the latest version of Iconic Concierge magazine, where you can find the Our City Tonight column, available now.
Closed captioning and other promotional considerations provided by Hamilton High Street Senior Residence, Richmond's newest senior living community.
Well, we're back where we started the show at Hydra Restaurant in their cabana room.
Folks, don't forget you can contact us with story ideas or comments on our website. It's info@ourcitytonighttv.com.
Oh, www.
Yes, I left that out. I'm sorry, yes. But anyway, that's it for the show. I'm Jim Gordon.
And I'm Lita Leapins.
We'll see you on the next edition of Our City Tonight.
You can contact us and watch past episodes at ourcitytonighttv.com. The Richmond Sentinel, providing news, entertainment, and human interest stories in print and online.